What's this?
Hello, welcome back to the Freak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me and for being patient for the next episode in our coverage of the Dwarves. We're being chased by the orcs. We're running around like a bunch of crazy people. Did we just get in a fight? I don't know. I think we got the elf dwarf lady person to join. It's weird. Anyway, we're going to continue on. That's the whole idea or concept here. We are outrunning him.
The pretty little village with its richly ornate houses and its temple to Palandial at its center, you can see an angry mob some distance away. The villagers are hassling a young woman, insulting her and pushing her to the ground.
Force your way between the mob and the young woman. Join the villagers and watch what happens. Force.
You push your way through the crowd of people and stand in the way of the villagers.
What's going on here?
A man dressed in richly decorated vestments looks you up and down.
Palandial be with you, dwarf. It is none of your business, but this woman here is a thief. She and her henchmen have emptied the monastery's granary and were willing to abandon us to our fate.
That's a lie. We asked for help and these people turned us away. I came back to ask again.
To the priest, what proof do you have that this woman has committed a crime?
What evidence do you have against this woman?
We found the granary broken into. Almost a third of our grain and a significant amount of supplies have gone. And all this just one day after she and her people were snooping around here.
That's circumstantial at best. That isn't proof.
That isn't proof. It could simply be coincidence. Anyway, why would a thief come back to the scene of a crime?
The priest eyes you in silence, while some of the villagers make it clear that dwarves should keep their noses out of their business.
All right, woman, tell us what happened.
Tell us what happened.
The villagers grumble, but the priest gives the woman a chance to defend herself.
My name is Tavia. I was forced to flee Tabayin with my family when the perished land began to spread. My husband, we had to leave him behind.
The horror in the woman's eyes gives you a good idea as to what became of her husband.
No one accepted us in the north. There are too many refugees and everyone is scared. Queen Wei has offered land in Wayan to anyone who will work hard for it. But what should we grow if no one will sell us grain? We offered a fair price, but Father Malin...
She darts a scathing gaze at the priest.
He wanted double the amount.
The priest glances briefly at the angry villagers. Then he replies in a firm voice.
It was a hard winter, and with the increasing frequency of orc attacks, we must think of ourselves first and foremost. Even we cannot help everyone.
The bystanders mutter in agreement.
Alright, let's see. We can let the woman go. We can investigate the matter if you like. Do what you have to do. We have more important things to take care of. We can investigate the matter if you'd like.
The accusations are serious, so let's get to the bottom of the matter to be completely sure.
We have no doubt that she did it.
The priest looks at the villagers standing around him, the lust for blood written in their faces.
On the other hand, before we do something we can't undo...
Dissatisfied murmuring grows, which the priest debates with mollifying gestures.
Search for your evidence. You there, lock this woman up in the guardhouse in the meantime.
The woman is taken into a squat building made of rough blocks of stone. The crowd slowly disbands.
Alright, let's talk to Father Malin.
The priest is lost in thoughts, standing in front of the temple, as if he couldn't decide whether to go in or not.
Well, what can you tell me about Seaton?
I was wondering, what was here first, the temple or the village?
Ah, a keen eye. The temple is indeed much too big for such a small village. It was built on the foundations of an old stronghold when salt was found nearby. The village has grown over the years in the shadow of the temple. Good people live here, honest and pious children of Palandial.
He glances at the place where the woman was surrounded.
Why can't we just be left in peace?
How important to you is the stolen grain?
Supposing Tavia really did steal the grain and supplies, but only to save her family, would you turn a blind eye?
Palandiel teaches generosity, but that too must have its boundaries. We cannot help everyone. At some point there won't be enough for us.
So, if you had sold the grain, the people of Seaton would have starved?
Maybe not. Not yet. But if we always give everything we have away...
No one is saying always, and no one is saying everything.
The priest shrugs his shoulders apologetically. He doesn't wish to spoil things with his flock.
Well, we have to go.
You nod goodbye, and the priest returns the gesture.
Alright, we can go to the storehouse. Let's go to the storehouse.
You enter the village's large storehouse. The ground floor of the two-story building is full of turnips, with large barrels and clay pots on the floor and on high shelves. Several villagers are carrying out stock-taking. They're being supervised by a weedy man who observes them with a grim expression and writes things on a wax tablet every now and then.
Okay, observe the scene a bit longer. That seems legit.
Work is in full swing. The man with the wax tablet grumbles now and then in agreement when one of the peasants shouts out a number to him. It shouldn't take too much longer until they finish the inventory.
Alright, we're going to go upstairs to the first
There are
floor.
sacks piled up on top of one another on the first floor. They are most likely filled with different kinds of grain and, judging by the omnipresent white dust, flour.
It's too dark here. Can someone light a fire? Inspect the empty corner in the dim light. It's too dark.
You look around for a portable source of light.
Can anyone see a candle or a torch? I need a light.
I wouldn't recommend that.
The Magister Technicus has followed you into the storehouse.
One spark could ignite the flour dust. We sometimes use the effect when we want to create huge balls of fire on the stage.
I think we could do without huge balls of fire in here.
Yeah? Alright, I guess we're going to inspect it in the dim light.
You walk towards the only area in the storeroom where you can see the floorboards. You hesitate as your boots slip on the floor, as if you're walking on mud.
Tongue deal.
The Magister Technicus carefully observes the roof beams above the empty corner. He grabs at a beam and crumbles something between his fingers. You can't make out what it is, so you copy him and feel damp, rotten wood. It's very easy to pull away small pieces.
What are you doing here?
The man with the wax tablet is standing on the stairs. He sounds half angry, half shocked.
No one is allowed in here.
Well, if no one is allowed in here, why are you here? You do realize that the roof here is leaky, right?
The rain has gotten here. The roof and the floor are damp.
Those savages. It wasn't enough that they steal from us. They had to damage the roof too. That was probably where they got in.
The wood didn't start to rot yesterday, good man.
The steward's face turns bright red.
And you are the experts on such things, are you?
Assuming the roof here has been leaky for a long time, what would have happened to the grain in the sacks directly underneath? Wouldn't it have turned rotten?
The man wets his lips. His gaze darts around the room.
The roof was fine. I'll have it repaired. And now, get out of here.
The steward angrily blocks off all further attempts at talking to him, and even when you threaten him with Father Malin, it doesn't have the desired effect. The father trusts in him, he says, and he's always been a devout follower. The heavy door of the storehouse closes behind you, and you hear a bolt sliding into place from the inside.
Well, I think we know what's going on. Let's go to the
You enter
guardhouse.
the guardhouse, and before the guards know, Boindale and Boendal have caught them up in a friendly conversation. Shielded from the view of the guards, you exchange a few words with the suspect without being disturbed.
Where are your people and where are the spoils? Why did you come back to the village?
Why did you come back to the village?
I wanted to negotiate with Father Malin for the grain. What else could I do? No sooner had I arrived than they surrounded me and accused me of robbery.
Okay, where are your people and where are the spoils?
Where have you taken the grain and supplies?
I don't know anything about grain or supplies. Apart from the fact that we could do with both, I'm telling you, I am innocent.
Alright, well again, tell us what
We
happened.
won't let anyone do anything to you, but if we are going to help you, you will have to tell us the truth.
The woman looks you in the face, then her head sinks, and when she looks back up, she has tears in her eyes.
Please, I just want to go back to my family. I don't know what happened.
Tungdil.
You feel sympathy towards the woman. You raise your hand to silence Rodario and nod to the woman to continue talking.
We asked for grain and were full of hope when we saw the well-filled granary. But we hadn't reckoned on the malice of the people here.
A slow, ironic clap sounds from behind you. Confused, you turn around to face Rodario.
Bravo, my dear, with tears and everything. Tough luck that a master of the art of acting is present. None of what she said corresponds with the truth, Tungdil. She is lying and trying to deceive us. Not completely talentless for an amateur.
You expect the woman to deny everything, but when she overcomes her amazement, she spits in the actor's face.
And what if I am? I would do it all again.
Whoa.
The people here have more than they need and my people are starving. Is that fair?
Well, that caught me off guard. I was ready to side with her. All right. So where have your people taken the grain and supplies? Why did you come back after you stole the grain and supplies?
Why did you come back here after stealing the grain and supplies?
We didn't steal them. We paid for them. A reasonable price, just not to Father Malin.
You had help.
He promised us 3 dozen sacks of grain. When we opened the sacks in our hideout, we realised that most of the grain was rotten. He thought he'd get away with it.
The woman looks around wearily.
And by the looks of things, he has.
Alright, well, so where have your people taken the grain and supplies?
Spit it out. Where are the spoils and your people?
I'd rather die than tell you that.
The woman looks at you determinedly,
Wow.
and neither of you blink.
Well, I think I know who your accomplice was.
Morris the steward offered you the grain, didn't he?
What does that matter? I've no proof it was him. And even if I did, if I admit that we have the stuff, I'll be hanging from a tree by this evening and my children will starve. I beg you, let me go. We bought the grain and the supplies. Perhaps he wasn't allowed to sell it to us. But we paid. And with a little seed we can sow, at least some of us have a chance of surviving the year.
Well, I would find the decision a lot easier if you hadn't lied to us.
How can I trust you? You lied.
Who wouldn't do everything to offer their children a future? Lying is the very least.
If you return the grain, Father Malin might show clemency. I don't think you should be locked up. I'm letting you go.
You've stolen, no matter how you put it. But perhaps Father Malin will show clemency if you return the grain.
Clemency for me and a death sentence for my family. Never.
Well, you will stay locked up until I find a solution.
Disenchanted by the course the discussion has taken, you shake your head and leave the guardhouse.
Alright, let's go talk to good old Father Malin.
The priest is lost in thoughts, standing in front of the temple, as if he couldn't decide whether to go in or not.
The roof of the granary is leaky.
The roof of the granary is leaky. We saw some rotten wooden planks.
Again? Morris only had the roof repaired last summer.
Did he? If he didn't, some of the grain would have got damp and rotten.
Out of the question. Morris would have reported that. He checks the grain once a month and there were no complaints.
The priest has absolutely no doubt in what he is saying, often a sign that someone hasn't thought things over.
Well, we have to
You
go.
nod goodbye, and the priest returns the gesture.
Well, I don't
The priest
know
is
what
lost
to
in
do.
thoughts, standing in front of the temple, as if he couldn't decide whether to go in or not. You nod goodbye.
I guess we leave Seaton? Well, this is a weird thing. I guess we'll go here. I don't know how long before
You
that
spend the night
comes after
protected
us.
from the wind in a ruin, and are sitting around a campfire as the topic of your new companion's performance on the stage comes up.
Sleight of hand, speed, alchemy, and makeup can have an incredible effect. Nomura transformed herself into an elf using the latter.
I also noticed your weapons, Nomura. I've never seen such swords before.
Their names are Crescent and Sunbeam. I designed them myself. It took a long time until I found a smith who was able to make them.
She looks like a pointy ear too. Nature hasn't been kind to her.
For this absent-minded remark, Boindil receives evil looks from Nomura and grins from the men.
Perhaps I really am an elf, and will bring you a nightmare in your sleep tonight. Don't be surprised if you wake up screaming.
For a moment, it seems as though she has merged with the darkness, but when you blink, everything is back to normal.
By the gods, isn't she magnificent in her role?
There is no denying what Rodario says.
Indeed. Alright, well... Oh,
The group isn't overly friendly towards Geralda, and this evening she's sitting once again apart from the others. You ask yourself what you can do to break the ice when you see that she has a phial in her hand. The phial is wrapped around with silver wire and has a snap lock. The liquid in it is black. Geralda opens the lid and takes a big swig. As she puts down the bottle, a smile flits across her face, followed by a short expression of deep satisfaction. It is the first time that you have seen a positive emotion on the face of the somber dwarf.
What's in the bottle? Medicine?
Is that medicine?
No, it's... I don't know either. If I don't drink it, I have a longing for it. It gets stronger and stronger until I can't stand it anymore. When I drink it, the longing disappears, and I feel rested and strong.
I could use some of that.
When the phial's empty?
I don't know. I don't know where I got the drink from, let alone what it is. But if I don't drink it, frackers, give me strength. I think I would go crazy or die.
Geralda plays with the phial, lost in her thoughts, as if she were trying to remember where she saw it for the first time.
Well, that's disturbing. Alright, let's... I'm losing so much food. To Rackenstackenstein.
You discover some ancient ruins and an orc camp in a gorge. A small group of Bognalim is moving between tents, piles of rubbish and cages. In one of the cages, you think you can make out some movement.
Well, let's charge the camp. We need food, so if we can pilfer some food from this combat, that's good. If we can't, we're in a lot of trouble because we're gonna die. We didn't get any food from the granary place. We weren't able to figure out the problem, like how to solve it, so that's kind of an issue. Like, we know what's going on, we know the whole ordeal, but it's not giving us the option to say, alright, this is what happened, and you have to believe us. He's just like, no, that would never happen. Mah.
They're coming out the holes.
You there, my bag! Over there! Quick! You'll have to smoke them out!
What? Alright, well, we're not going to roll with the guys that we have. I'm probably going to keep her, probably drop him and get our twins back. Something like that. No. You stay with that. You take this. There we go. Okay. And we begin. Alright, folks. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, I had to do a cut. Got interrupted. But
Understood.
We're going to go finish this up right now and see where it goes. I just basically reloaded the thing. And I'm going to have Boindil grab the stuff, and that's going to be that. We're going to have him go and blow up all the things. So hopefully it works out. We'll see. We'll see if it does.
Throw them into the holes. That ought to stop the little beasts.
Ow! Another one!
Alright, we're going to go ahead and destroy stuff. There's one there. There's one up over here. I was almost done with it, too. There's a hole over there, and there's one over here as well. Go ahead and do that. We're going to leap and take them out. There it is. And most of the problems are solved at this point.
Another one bites the dust! And
Vile creature.
Apparently that takes a little bit of her energy to do that. It's got quite a long cooldown.
On my way.
Well, there's only 3 left alive, guys and gals, so that's pretty
Already
good.
done it. On my way.
Huh. There's 2 left alive.
Good.
Well, doesn't look like Boindil wants to actually do anything here. The dude's just like in there.
What
And there it is. All right. Victory! So, that worked
Very
out.
impressive, I must say. Let me out, my friends.
Alright, we did it with very little injury. Bowendahl, actually, oddly, was the one that got the most injured, and a whole bunch of experience. I really want some food out of all of this. Oh, boy. Alright, the fabulous Rodario. We can get him Acid Cloud, spelled oddly. Rodario throws a vial that releases an acid cloud, deals damage to enemies, and floats in the air for a short while, or the Cloud of Sleep. Huh, weird. Rodario throws a vial that releases a narcotic cloud, stuns enemies. I think I'm gonna go with the sleep one. I continue down that path, and then Nomura's got either the Ring of Death. With quick attacks, Nomura deals heavy damage to all enemies surrounding her. Or Assassination, disappears and appears behind an enemy and deals heavy damage with a stab, then she reappears at a previous location. Both seem legit. I think we need somebody who does massive damage to a single target, so it's going to be that for her. And of course, the Burning Dart we have no choice with, and we did get some food. So we are still alive. We got a golden ring as well, and we're good to go. So, this is where I'm going to break off the episode, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed, and, well, maybe we're going to get lucky enough to be able to buy some more food before we leave. And, yeah, I'm sorry about having to do the cut there. It was a bit unfortunate, but it's all over with. We survived. We got through it. That was actually pretty easy. And, yeah. Anyway, that's it, folks. I'll see you next time with more of the Dwarves. Until then, my name is Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.